go to work for you.
The name you know and trust.
So glad you're tuned in to 3+U today. We're kind of having part two of a conversation that we began on the show yesterday with Charlotte Mabry of the Charlotte Mabry team. It's a beautiful sunshiny day today, so we've lingered a bit. Yesterday, Charlotte, we focused on being a seller in this hot market, and yet the protections that you need to make sure you're covered post-sale. You wanted to talk about today those who might be in a real hardship this year financially and at risk of losing their home. Don't forget that your house could be your friend right now.
Absolutely. I mean, no question about it. You know, COVID really split us into two groups. Some people had made it through the year of COVID and came out smelling like a rose, and some people came through COVID with some struggles. And, you know, here at our Keller Williams office here, we see people all the time, hundreds of people, some buying, some selling, and we are beginning to see some stories of hardship and struggle. And I was telling you this, I was looking at a newspaper, a printed document. We don't see those as much anymore, right? Those printed documents that listed foreclosure sales. And, you know, it's so sad to see someone go through that process today simply because you don't have to let that happen to you, definitely not in today's market. There are a couple of ways to keep yourself from facing foreclosure. First of all, in the year of COVID, in 2020, the United States government put into play some legislation that gave you an opportunity to do what's called forbearance on your mortgage payment. So you can stop paying some of your mortgage payments with the permission of your lender. You have to go through the lender's process and all. But those payments are not forgiven. You do have to pay them, but perhaps you can slide them to the end of your mortgage or even pay them in some sort of payback plan that's different.
Okay.
And so that was really a great tool for people to use. And so typically you would never have that opportunity were it not for COVID. So you can slide your payment back, spend some time. That has been extended into this spring, so you can still take advantage of forbearance. So that's a great opportunity that a seller has, an owner has, to keep from losing their home if they can't pay their payment. And so an agent doesn't really have the answer for you specifically. You need to contact your lender. So whoever your lender is, you can call them. They want to talk to you about that. They don't want you to go into foreclosure.
So can I pause on that one for just a second? Let's suppose that you're somebody and your mortgage payment, will make it easy math, has been $1,000.
Right.
And you can still pay some towards that $1,000. You just can't pay all of it. If you do the forbearance, are you pushing back the full $1,000, or can you choose to pay a portion?
That's a great question. I think it probably comes down to what the lender would allow or would want. Most likely, most lenders would say, this is just Charlotte's opinion, if you can pay some, why can't you pay all? So I think if you're going to go into a forbearance thing, you probably should say, I need help with it all. And then slide that around and perhaps save your money so that when the time comes that
you be putting that,
you be putting away, and then you take care of paying that back.
So you were saying that that's the first thing, is contact your lender.
Absolutely.
When does someone, let's suppose that you goofed, maybe someone's watching today and they've already gotten a letter, I guess, from their mortgage company
saying, hey, it's a problem, right? You know, typically in this market today, if someone has notification of an impending foreclosure, particularly if they're in the very beginning stages of that, we can absolutely sell your home before a foreclosure would ever happen. Now, if you've already got a letter from an attorney saying, here is your foreclosure date, that's a tough one, but there's still ways to perhaps keep that from happening to you. But I guess what I would want our listeners and people watching to know is, don't get to that point. If you find yourself struggling and you're going, hey, even if I did a forbearance and scoot my payment back, that isn't going to solve my long-term problem. and you're thinking, gosh, my house needs repairs, I need to fix up things, there's a solution for that. We can help you fix your house up. We've got ways to do that. We can even sell properties as is. It's easy right now in this market. So there could never be a better time to sell your home if you just need to get out from under that debt and don't lose your equity.
Right.
All of these people that I see on the foreclosure list, the average homeowner today owes about half of what their house is worth. So they have 50% of their home's value in equity. Why would you lose that?
Right.
Because you let your house go to foreclosure.
Right.
Don't think your house is too ugly or too impossible to sell. There are solutions, particularly in today's market.
And in case you're tuning in today and you didn't see yesterday's, again, not every case is going to be the same.
Correct.
But if you're in this already difficult situation, my goodness, you want those people especially
Right.
to not have to have extra hardship. If they go through this, they sell their house, but now they have nowhere to go in today's
Right.
market. What Charlotte said yesterday is there are ways to sometimes write into the seller's contract.
Correct.
Ways to
to
stay.
be able to find someplace. Typically, though, if someone is credit burdened because they're going into a foreclosure, probably their credit is dinged, they would need to look at renting.
Good point.
I guess one of the issues, though, and it's difficult right now, the rental market is just like the selling market. I mean, there are so few things to rent. It's a tough thing. It's tough out there. 2020 was a tough year for people who struggled financially, for people who could work from home and people who could sell their homes and move to another one. It's been a great year. But if you lost your job and maybe in a service industry or something like that, it was a tough year. And that's why some of these things are in place. And we, as the Charlotte Mabry team here at Keller Williams, we have developed some ways that we can help people by helping them fix up their house to get top dollar for it. You know, I have connections where we can get some of those repairs and things done for you prior to closing, and then you just pay those connections back at closing. So we can help people get that leg up to get started.
Okay, so here's how you call her, because you can tell that she has a listening ear, and this is home for her.
Right.
Has been for a long, long time. So she kind of knows everybody at play here. It's the Charlotte Mabry team at Keller Williams. Phone number and website there on your screen. She and her team will be happy to assist you in whatever your real estate need or dream might be.
That's exactly right. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Seems like CBD stores are popping up on every corner. Make sure you choose a knowledgeable vendor you can trust, like the Hemp House. Choose from products that are locally sourced from farmers we work